Well, howdy there. Well, if it isn't already abundantly clear, I got a little bit of a, well, one might argue is a bit of a hoarding issue. Where I don't necessarily want to think about it in those terms. I prefer to think about it more like I'm well prepared. For what? I'll leave the viewers to decide. So we went up to the machine shop to pick up the Cleveland, which should be showing up in a another video not so distant future. I noticed on the side of their nice building pile of steel, almost all I-beams, a few posts, and I'll give you a show and tell of everything. And I couldn't help myself but ask the really incredibly nice owners there how much they wanted for the lot. And they tossed out a number, and I didn't even dicker. That's a little unusual for me because I usually will haggle, at least attempt to haggle a little bit, for if nothing else, to see if there's a better deal I could get. But I kind of felt that the number he tossed out was, well, put simply, I picked up a whole bunch of steel for about what I spent on these two beams right here. And these two beams are a bit bigger than the other beams I got. But the grand total of it all is so much more. Now, some time ago, these two here, I don't know how well you can see them, are ones that I picked up a little over a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, for the intended purposes of building a frame table. The nice big heavy thick section, so I went ahead and set them aside and stored them. But now I've got these other ones, and for what I was intended to use these for, I can use one of the smaller sections and still be overkill, and turn around and use these for something a little more interesting, at least to me. I'll run the calculations and figure out, measure them, run the calculations and figure out the second moment of inertia and, you know, the strength profiles for each section, and pick and choose the combination that's going to best suit for the additional function. But it's put me in a situation whereby if I want to build a large English wheel or a big planishing hammer, or maybe even kind of a homemade pull max sort of situation, I would have to buy the motive options, the motors or pneumatic hammers or whatever. But I could build the frames from all of this stuff. I can also build carts, and my frame table I've already previously discussed in this video, so that I can fabricate anything, everything I can think of, tool wise, storage wise, etc., with this load of steel. And unfortunately, I pressed Big Blue into service to store this as opposed to all of the interior from Flow. Well, we now have all the steel on Big Blue, including a couple I-beams I picked up quite a while ago, about maybe 2 years ago? Nah, a year and a half ago, still during the height of the pandemic. There's one beam that's not presently resting on there, and that's because It is about twice as long. It was about twice as long as the trailer, and this bed is about the same length. So it's actually about twice as long. So that beam is going to have to go on some blocks in the yard and along a fence line where it's mostly out of the way. Anyways, let me take you on a tour of my haul and wrap up with a discussion of kind of something that a lot of newbies and so forth overlook opportunities on. So picking up a load of steel like this, scrap steel from someone's decommissioned building project, decommissioned building, kind of a little bit of a luxury, but it's a great way to get a lot of good steel for building big tools, big stuff. It does require some method of storage, some method of racking it until you can start using it, start working through it. Now I have a lot of big plans, big dreams for the ranch. And I've already got maybe a quarter of it kind of already earmarked for specific future projects and builds I explicitly have in mind. Stuff I really am looking forward to doing. The nice combination of, well, I got some posts with plates on the bottom of them. We have rounds for various different things we can do, a whole lot of I-beam I-beam section that we can use to be the basis of all sorts of different high strength options, stuff that previous iterations in my mind was going to be built out of plate steel, just boxed and overbuilt and welded up, but now I don't have to buy any of that stuff. I now own enough of this stuff that I can build some pretty ridiculous things. And something that new people to the hobby of automotive restoration forget is, while you're going about, keep your eyes peeled and strike up a friendly conversation, and maybe you can get a hold of stuff like this for the purposes of your projects. Once you have a welder and you got some basic cutting tools, the world's kind of your oyster, and a lot of very expensive equipment that professionals have that you wouldn't be able to afford. Suddenly you can build from a kit or using this stuff here, and it's pretty fantastic, pretty amazing. So keep your eyes peeled, and good luck. I've got a lot of frickin' steel now. We got a pretty decent flatbed trailer, and as you can see in this photo, that's how I hauled all this steel home, and I'm pretty sure I overloaded the trailer. It's fine, no harm. Structurally it's fine, and I took it slow on side streets, driving the 25 miles or so it was to get it home, but it's here now, and my only limitation is my imagination. So I'm kind of stoked about this. I'm pretty happy with this. Kind of ties up Big Blue, so it'll be a lot harder to go get new tires for him, but that's life. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. And if you haven't done so already, please hit the subscribe button. Appreciate it very much. And until next time, have a scraptastic day.